Happy New Year. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Council of Commissioners for January 6, 2016 to order. Clerk, can you please provide us a roll call?
We have 10 present and 2 absent.
All right, excellent. Let the record show that Commissioners Henderson and Ralph are excused from this evening's festivities. Commissioner McDonough, can you lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which shall greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any public comment on items that are on tonight's agenda? Now would be the time for public comment on tonight's agenda items. Okay, seeing none, we will move to the approval of the minutes from the special meeting of December 9th, 2015, and the regular meeting of December 16th, 2015. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I move to approve the minutes of the special meeting December 9th, 2015, and the regular meeting December 16th, 2015.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Seeing nothing on the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have no items to be added or not on the agenda this evening, which moves me to the Chief Executive Report. I think just a couple of quick items. As you know, we are in the process of evaluating a number of locations for our city-county public works shops, and we are responsive to what we hear in the public, and certainly what we hear from our commissioners up here. We have scheduled an additional public presentation prior to bringing that decision to this body, which there will be at least 2 more rounds at the council level where we'll give an additional update to include public feedback that we've received at this point. And we're looking at a decision date from this group on February 3rd. But the next public forum on this will be next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, January 12th, down at the Emergency Operations Center in the Butte Justice Center. And that will be a presentation to the public and to our Superfund Advisory and Redevelopment Trust Authority group. January 12th, Tuesday, 6 p.m. next week. Also of note and import for next week, this is something that has been in the hopper now for a couple of years, and in starting the new year off right with expanding our opportunities for economic development here in Butte-Silver. We are holding a meeting on Wednesday, January 13th at 4 p.m. out at Highlands College, and that will be a public meeting to present the plans for establishment of a South Butte Targeted Economic Development District. If you're familiar with what the changes are there, previously they were called TIFIDs. So our Ramsey Tax Increment Finance District, there's no longer state law that refers to TIFs. They're now called TEDs. And what a Targeted Economic Development District does is it brings a number of additional opportunities for spurring economic development in a specific area. It can include tax increment financing. It doesn't necessarily have to, and that is on the decision of the governing body to decide when or if we would implement tax increment districting out there. But the reason we're having it at the Highlands College is that campus would be within the proposed confines of this new district. It would also include our existing industrial park that includes the Mike Mansfield Technology Center, Acadia, and some other great properties out there, the Basin Creek Power Plant. And so we will be there to give a presentation on it, to answer questions about it, and start the process of gaining public support for another economic development tool for Butte's future and prosperity. So that is next Wednesday, the 13th at 4 p.m. out at the Highlands College building. I'm also pleased to announce that today we had an offer accepted for our new Human Resources Director. Our new Human Resources Director that was selected from a diverse selection committee, included myself, included our county attorney, Commissioner Foley, our Sheriff Lester, Chief Miller, and Public Works Director Dave Schultz, our Finance and Budget Director Danette Gleason. We also included a outside representative, outside of Butte-Silver representative in Cindy Walker from Horvath and Robinson, and it was a unanimous choice to offer the position to Leslie Clark. And ironically enough, just on a side note, Leslie is the younger sister of Butte-Silver's former personnel director, Tim Clark, who held down the fort up here for a long number of years, dating back. I think he retired back in, I believe, 2007. But Leslie is very well qualified in her own right. She is a Butte native, Montana Tech and Butte High graduate, and she has been at MSC for the past 3 decades, and she's been the Human Resources Director out there since 2007. And so, of course, we bring that decision for confirmation before this body at the next regular meeting on January 20th for your consideration. And if all goes well, as we expect it to, her first day as Butte-Silver's new Human Resources Director is scheduled to be on the 25th of January. So getting her in here and off and running as soon as we possibly can. And then also in personnel moves, we are making progress with the selection of our new IT manager, and that one has also come along well. We have a good selection committee on that position that includes Commissioner Morgan. We had a number of applicants and a equal number of highly qualified applicants for the position, and so we're in the process right now of culling it down to a number that we can start interviews on. And so I think it's my hope, as is the rest of the committee, that we can have a decision made on that near the end of the month so that we can be off and running when technology advancements such as the streaming in the chambers here and a number of other network upgrades take hold in the coming months. So that's kind of my update on the government business. If folks haven't seen it yet, this is the Montana Quarterly magazine. It's a nice Montana living magazine that's been out for several years. But there's a great feature story on Danny Wong and the Pekin Noodle Parlor in here that was done by Ed Kemick, who's the former editor at the Billings Gazette. So I can leave this up here if you guys want to take a look at it. But just good promotion for one of Butte's great and longest standing local businesses. So that concludes my chief executive report. I would wish my colleagues here a happy new year and extend the wishes of looking forward to working with you in the next 12 months. So with that, we'll move into Section 1, consent agenda. Are there any segregations or friendly amendments? Commissioner Shaw?
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I'd like to make a friendly amendment on item 10. This is 16-10. And I'll just say that we just need to change the date for the tax deed sale public auction. Should have been February 17th instead of January 17th of 2016. Just a just a correction, an error. So if you would just make note of that, and I'd like to put that on the public record, so thank you.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Seeing none, Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Section 1, consent agenda. I move to approve the consent agenda A1 through 5 and B1 through 13 with no exceptions.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with nothing on the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have Section 2, ordinances and resolutions referred to judiciary, so take note of those two items. Section 3, ordinances and resolutions for final reading. Number 1, clerk, can you please read the title?
Resolution number 15-48, a resolution authorizing and approving the sale of real property owned by the city and county of Butte-Silver, state of Montana, described as Lot 19, Block 4 of the Montana Avenue Addition, portion of parcel number 1419800, lying in the southeast one quarter of Section 24, Township 3 North, Range 8 West, adjacent to the north of the property at 2221 South Main Street, to the adjoining owner pursuant to policies adopted by the Council of Commissioners and providing for an effective date herein.
Thank you, Commissioner Shaw.
I move to place Council Resolution number 15-48 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. This is a roll call, so please cast your votes. All votes in. Clerk, can you please record?
10 yea and 0 nay.
Okay, resolution passes. Number 2, clerk, can you please read?
Resolution number 15-49, a resolution granting conditional approval of the final plat of the Aspen Minor subdivision of the city and county of Butte-Silver, state of Montana, providing for the repeal of all parts of resolutions in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date herein.
Thank you, Commissioner Shaw.
I move to place Council Resolution number 15-49 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. All votes in. Clerk, can you please record?
10 yea and 0 nay.
Okay, resolution passes. We have Section 4, suspension of the rules for final passage. Commissioner Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I move for the suspension of the rules for the purpose of passing Resolution 16-2 by waiving subsection 7 of Rule 36 of the Rules and Order of Business of the Council of Commissioners, thereby having it considered for advanced passage without reference to the Judiciary Committee.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to suspend the rules, so please cast your votes. All votes in. Clerk, can you please record?
9 yea and 1 nay.
Okay, rules suspended, so Resolution 16-2. Can you please read the title?
Resolution number 16-2, a resolution authorizing the sole source purchase of 20 self-contained breathing apparatus for the city, county of Butte-Silver, Montana BSB Fire Department, and for providing for an effective date herein.
Thank you. Commissioner Shaw.
I move to place Resolution 16-2 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can you please cast your votes on the question? Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. As I stated before on this, I have no opposition to the firemen getting the equipment they need and the manufacturer being Scott that they need. The objection I have to this is the sole source purchase of $173,000. You know, in this council, we hear a lot of times that people say, we want to refer this to the professionals, you know, whether it be, architecture or whatever. Well, the firemen are truly professionals, but they're not professional purchasing agents. And to allow them to spend $173,000 without going through a bid process just doesn't seem right to me, because they are professional firemen, but they're not professional buyers, and we don't have a purchasing department in Butte-Silver County. Therefore, I'm not opposed to getting the Scott fire apparatuses they're requesting. What I'm opposed to is having a sole source of $173,000 being spent without a bid, without being observed by a professional buyer. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation, Commissioner Fisher. Clerk, can you please record? I thought everyone had their votes in. Let's go restart that one. Everybody got their votes in? Okay. Clerk, can you now please record?
9 yea and 1 nay.
Okay. Motion passes. At this point, is there any public comment on any matter that was not on this evening's agenda?
Yes. R. Edgar Banrock, 2601 Grand Avenue. Coming up here this evening, I came to the light at Park and Main. It's been flashing red for several weeks now. I don't know if this is a point of indecision or whether you're going to put the light there. But if you're going to continue it as a four-way stop, it would be appreciated if somebody would hang a little box under that light saying four-way stop. Thank you.
Any other further public comment? Okay, seeing none, take note of the calendar of other meetings and events. Does anyone have anything to add or clarify? Commissioner McDonough?
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. This afternoon, the Burt Mooney Airport Authority Board met and voted to authorize moving forward with the construction, or to authorize the contract with Markovich Construction to explore the starting documents and the bid documents to move forward with the terminal. It's a projected higher cost than we initially anticipated, but they have a pretty good plan in place. And it was the board's opinion, along with the engineers, that it was prudent to move forward. So we did take a big step in constructing, or in the effort to construct a new terminal at the Burt Mooney.
Very good. Seeing nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.